Be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. I'm back, and I have a pretty spicy list. This is Jeskai Control with Leyline Dowser. So this card, you pay 1 mana, you tap it, you mill a card, and you immediately put that card into your hand if it's an instant or sorcery. So this milling does not count as drawing for the purpose of Bowmasters or Narset, and it doesn't really hit the graveyard. So you can do this right through a Leyline of the Void. People can't respond with like surgical extraction because it's all part of like one process, one triggered ability resolving or activated ability resolving. So this is the deck. Very simple. Lots of 4-ofs, as you can see, like the Cantrip Cartel for Force of Negation, which is, again, that's a lot of Force of Negations, right? But this deck really doesn't have any way to interact in terms of like permanent creature or permanent, like it doesn't have Lavinia in it. It doesn't have Narset in it. It's leaning into having everything be an instant or sorcery. And if you look, the only cards that aren't instant or sorceries are these Timeless Dragons and then the Leyline Dowsers themselves and then the lands. So you'll notice that I'm playing 19 lands and I'm playing the full 4 Lorien Revealed because you want to have blue cards to pitch to force your forces. And you also want to have, these are essentially lands, like cards that you draw off of Leyline Dowser. The win cons are very light. It's just 3/4 Aerolingus and 3 Timeless Dragon. And Timeless Dragon can be used to cycle to go get a plains, or it can be used by eternalizing it, and you create this embalmed zombie dragon that's a flying 4/4, and that cannot be countered. It's not a spell. It's like an ability. So it's pretty cool to be able to put that in against like Delver, for example, and suddenly you have a 4/4 flyer that outclasses all their 3/3 flyers. The sideboard, very simple. 3 Pyroblast, 3 Hydroblast. Technically, if you have the money, you should have 1 blue Elemental Blast and 1 red Elemental Blast. So you've split these effectively because there's no benefit to putting these in the graveyard. I'm cheapskate, and I do use 3 Hydroblasts in a lot of my decks because I'm playing Murktide, and I do want to be able to target something in a pinch. Ruination, one of my favorite cards, and this deck can cast it. We have a whopping 6 basic lands here. Check that out. So the only non-basics we're playing are a Mystic Sanctuary, a Volk, 2 Tundras, and a Plateau, which I haven't played Plateau in like 2 years in any of my decks, but it makes sense here because you can get it with the dragon. It's just a 3rd red source. If you like mill your red sources and suddenly you can't cast your win con, that's very bad. So it is good to have a 3rd red source, even though this is the only card main deck that uses red. Pyroclasm is a card that can potentially wipe out like a lot of goblins. It can potentially be really good against Death and Taxes, other creature heavy, like weenie heavy matchups. And then of course the hammer in 2 Meltdowns and 1 Damping Sphere, just because we have literally nothing. If we're up against 12 posts, we don't have Wastelands, we don't have anything, and we're not going to be racing them. And this is very good against Cascade decks. So that is the deck. I'm very excited to jump into some leagues with it. All right, and so we're going to go ahead and dive into my Jeskai Dowser match real quick. So let's go here. Let's play our match. All right, round 1. We are up against the Rooster? The Rooster. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing their name correctly. Last seen in 2014 on a white deck. So really nothing to go on here. Let's just dive in. They're a vintage player. They're probably playing a high power level deck, I would imagine. This works. I mean, it's got a force, it's got a land, it's got a ponder. I think we keep this. So this is an island ponder keep. And this deck is pretty slow, so I'm going to try to play quickly. Do I want to go ahead and ponder? I think I do want to go ahead and ponder. I don't know what they're on, but I want to line up a land here. So we're just going to get an island, and we're going to ponder. This does have Leyline Dowser, but it doesn't have a second blue source. I think we shuffle it. All right, rewarded. So we will want to find a Leyline Dowser, but finding a land there was more important in my opinion. Okay, so just this could be, I mean, this pattern, I think it's most likely Sneak and Show or something like that. which makes me kind of want to keep the Brainstorm rather than pondering immediately. And then we have kind of emergency Brainstorm in case we need to find a second blue source. So they're island cycling here. March of Otherworldly Light was kind of a last minute addition just because I wanted a little bit more instant speed interaction. It is not as good as Prismatic Ending generally. So here it looks like they're playing. I mean, I could march it next turn, but they would get a card. So I think it's fine to go ahead and attempt to force this. And if they force back, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we stopped it. Do we want to get rid of some of these these plows? I think we do. We got a Leyline Dowser, which is fantastic. I think we put this back, and we probably put this back, and then we can go ahead and fetch. I'm just going to grab a Plains. I could definitely justify getting a Valk here. Yeah, I'll get a Valk, just in case we're not able to get a Valk later. So we do have Ruination in the deck, but that's post board. What I think I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go ahead and play it out and see if they have any interaction for it. It's quite possible that they'll attempt to remove this, and I'll have to activate it in response and hopefully get some sort of value for it. They have 3 lands now, playing an Uro. That's fine, and I think I do go ahead and plow it on the way through because I don't really have any main deck graveyard hate. So I'm just going to plow it with the ability on the stack. I don't care about their life total. What I care about is them getting an engine online. Okay. So now, unfortunately, when I plowed that, I can't use Leyline Dowser, so maybe that was a misplay. I'm going to go ahead and see what I draw here. I drew another plow. What I could do is I could ponder, make sure I've lined up something for a Leyline Dowser. Okay. So at this point, I think Fourth Aerolingus is a good card. They don't really have any forward momentum. They're probably not going to... Like, this is a bad card. This is an okay card. The problem is, if we grab Fourth Aerolingus, we're not going to be able to... we're not going to have the mana to Timeless Dragon. So I think... Oh, we're going to draw Fourth Aerolingus. So what I think we do is we just draw fourth. I'm not going to shuffle. Now I'm going to go use this ability. And I'm going to Plane Cycle. I think I'm just going to go ahead and grab a Plateau just to make sure our colors are all set up here. So we have Plow up if they have a second Uro. And we also have Leyline Dowser activation. That's fine. Okay, they make another land drop. So they do have the ability to return Uro if they'd like. They don't have Hardcast Force up though. So we get here, we got a land. Okay, so nothing off Leyline Dowser. All right, I think we go all out here. I don't think they're going to play Daze. What we can do is we could probably put a Force on top. Make them think we have a Force. I don't really like that idea. I think I'm just gonna get a. I think I'll just get an island here. Should I get a mountain? Okay, I can't be thinking about all these things so long. So the only card we have in our entire deck that uses red is Fourth Aerolingus. You know what we could do? We could just go for one fewer. Here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tap this, so we keep Tundra up, and we also keep a few other things up, just in case they somehow have like a creature that can play at instant speed here. I wouldn't be surprised if they force it. They have a Force. Force of Negation is also something they can hardcast here. Okay, Force of Will is fine. We're just going to pass. Next land we get, we can put this back on top and we can try again. Okay, Xander's. So I wouldn't be surprised if they attempted to use Leyline Binding to get rid of our Dowser, which has so far yielded us 0 cards. Life from the Loam is fine. I'm not going to interact with that. They have tons of mana, though, that's for sure. So I'm really glad that they don't have an Uro to bring back. End step, let's activate this. Please give us one of the many, many instants and sorceries in our deck. Okay, so we did yield a card there. Yeah, I think we just go in again. White, blue. All right. Can we get the monarchy? They would need 2 forms of removal here. Force negation stops it. All right. I'm just going to pass. Keep my cards up. They're down to 2 cards, to our 2 cards, but we do have Dowser. So our engine is online. If they play a Beanstalk, I will definitely take a turn off to remove it, but they are going to get a card out of it. Yeah, that's fine. There's a chance that they'll be able to get more than 1 card here if they have Leyline binding. They do have Leyline binding. Okay. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a way that I can get up to 6 to get rid of this. I'm just going to go ahead and use this now. We got Supreme Verdict. So it's not a card that matters in this matchup, but it is a free card that we can potentially brainstorm back. They're going to take our Leyline out. Okay, and they draw a card in the process. So now they're technically winning. That's not a useful card. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of their... I'll do that. And this. If they have force, they'll be able to protect it and draw a card. Oh, they don't have force. Okay, good. All right, so what do we have up? We have 1 plow, and we have Supreme Verdict in case they do something that puts a lot of power into play. The cards that we would get rid of at this point. Okay, so they're getting Leyline revealed. Okay, well, that's not good news for us. But the good news is that they're only going to get 3 cards, not 4 cards for it. So, like, looking for any positive news out of this. We would have force on top of our deck if I had used that Sanctuary. Instead of getting, I think, like a mountain. Yeah, that wasn't a good call on my part. They don't seem to have any mana disruption at all in their deck. They may have 1 or 2 wastelands because they are playing Life from the Loam. I think bringing back Timeless Dragon is what we're going to do this next turn. It's not a strong play, but it's better than nothing. Urow's fine. I'm going to play him again before the draw trigger. And we may be able to run him out of wing cons. He almost certainly has his own 4th Aerolingus, which we can manage with Supreme Verdict. We're down approximately 2 minutes. Leyline Dowser comes in. I think that's better than bringing back the dragon. It could be a 4th Aerolingus, which I could, or a Leyline Reveal. I think I'm just going to use it now. It was a Plains. Okay, we'll pass. So they probably are drawing to other 4th Aerolinguses. They may have any number of things. There's another Leyline binding. That's going to get our other one, which is fine. We have a dragon. That's basically all we've got going on now. Unless we draw into one of our 4th Aerolingus, or our Leyline Revealed, which we did. So I think there's a high likelihood that this gets forced. Oh, we got it in. Okay, cool. So what I think we do here is we probably just bring 4th Aerolingus back end step, and then we have a force protected 4th Aerolingus. Okay, so they made the mistake of wasting proactively. I have 3 islands. I can go and get a Mystic Sanctuary here. Mystic Sanctuary is going to get back 4th Aerolingus. So even though we do not have nearly as many lands as they do, we are going to be able to potentially get the Monarch, which is going to be difficult for them to contest. All right, let's get 3 horses going here. White, red. All right, done. It doesn't look like they're playing Bowmasters. They could be. Wow, we're in. Let's attack. All right, no endurance or anything. That's good. Well, we're not in the clear yet. Leyline Binding is fine. You can take one of my knights out of play. That is not a big deal. You're going to have to kill 3 of them with 2 cards left in your hand. Okay, I question the validity of that play. I think there's what's this? Solitude would potentially block. I'm going to keep the Brainstorm in hand here. I think we're good. Okay. Good that we stopped Solitude, for sure. So they did actually have a plan. Leyline Binding wasn't like a total bad play, in my opinion. All right. And now they have 1 card in their hands. We're going to be drawing a card every turn. until they can get the monarchy from us. I haven't been the monarch in so long. It feels good. So they life from the loamed. Maybe they're going to try to get Wasteland back. I mean, loaming and wastelanding is not going to be like a particularly strong play, in my opinion. They could potentially loam. They could potentially plow or waste their own sanctuary and loam that back, but it's fine. They're going after my white sources. I have already milled one of my planes. So basically, I have one more Tundra in my deck and one plains. And those, okay, I can actually go get that. I'm going to do that now. I'll plane cycle here. Wait, before I do, I think I'm going to go ahead and attack first with plow up and everything. Got lots of interaction. Attack. We're going to need to attack a lot of times if we want to kill them. So they have 3 cards in hand, 2 of which I believe are lands. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm first. I might want to put away some of these cards. Okay, so we found a Leyline Dowser and a second 4th Aerolingus. I don't think we need 4th Aerolingus. I think what we try to do is we close out with Timeless Dragon. We can get this later if we want to. Plow does help us protect. Okay, so I'm going to go like that. Yeah, and what I'll do is I'm just going to go ahead and... I can't both Leyline Dowser and cycle this turn, so I'm just going to play this out. And then I'll pass, I'll draw, and I know the top card on my deck is a sorcery. So if they play out like a Solitude here, that's fine. That's fine. And they're going to kill one of my creatures. That's fine. And I'm going to go ahead and kill the Solitude. I will plow it. That's why I kept plow in my hand. And they have 2 lands in hand, so we get to keep the monarchy. So we need to be sure to draw with Leyline Dowser during our next upkeep. All right, so they have no actions. This is great for us. Okay, during our upkeep, I'm going to go ahead and Dowser. I'll get the 4th Aerolingus off the top. Oh, I didn't click it. I forgot. You have to click it. Okay, that was bad. I'm going to go ahead and go into my main phase. I drew another Leyline Dowser, which isn't terrible. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and I'm going to go get a plains. So I definitely should have kept different mana up. Unfortunately, I didn't do that. Yeah, like there's not a lot I can do here other than play out the second Dowser, which I think I will do. All right, and I'm just going to attack in. Like, they could have like some way to remove this. I don't think they do. They've gone through 2 of their Solitudes. We'll see if they have a surprise creature here. They don't. Okay. They're going to fetch. Endurance, maybe. Oh, I got a Force of Negation. That's a good pickup. So we've drawn, I think, all 4 Leyline Dowsers. So we're kind of getting lucky. We've got 22 cards left in our deck. We're going to need to start pumping out Timeless Dragons here if we want to be able to close the game. Because the best draw is probably a land here. All right, so I'm just going to go white, white. Well, I'm going to attack first. Keep my Force Negation up. I'm only going to be able to Leyline Dowser once here, but I think it's worth it to speed up the clock. White, white, and let's bring this back. Get a card. All right. So this can't really interact with anything in their deck other than Beanstalk because almost all their permanents are 3 or greater, and this is the maximum we can Prismatic End for, and this 3-color deck is a 3. Okay, I think I'll just do this now. All right, it was a land. All right, Supreme Verdict doesn't really help us here, but it does pitch to one of our Force Negations if we need to. I think we could run out a second. I think we just keep hitting for 6 each turn and drawing cards off the Monarch. We've got lots of different things we can do here. I think I'm going to preserve this. I'll just 1-for-1 it. They're forcing back. I mean, I've got lots of cards I can pitch here. Okay, they concede. That saves me some time because I would have had to attack them like 3 times. So in my humble opinion, they didn't need to concede there. Ruination is going to be really strong here. They don't have a lot of basics. Hydroblast, maybe a 1 or 2 of. Cards that are less important here. I think March is not good here. All their permanents are pretty expensive. Supreme Verdict is not very good here. In fact, we could probably take all of them out. We do have some risk that they 4th Aerolingus, but I think they probably only play like 1 or 2 4th Aerolingus. We could take out some of these force negations, and since we're boarding in Pyroblasts, I don't believe in surgical against Eurodex, but since they're also playing Loam, maybe this makes sense. I don't know. I think it's okay because we're going to be drawing a lot of cards, hopefully. In terms of blue cards, we now have 8, 10, 20, 20. That's not very many to support our Force of Wills and Force Negations. Maybe we do want to keep one of these in. Take out this. I think that's fine. You could definitely argue for removing some of the plows. Okay, this is a good hand. We've got cheap interaction, and we have some, it's not ramp, but we have the ability to go get cards. So I'm going to play on basics, and I'm going to play toward a finish where I Ruination. That's my dream. All right, so I think we could probably just lead on this because we don't have anything else to do. Like, I want to be able to force the negation a Beanstalk, and then I want to be able to Pyroblast their counter magic to keep that alive. Okay, so there's a basic. They may fetch a basic here. They don't. Loam is... do I want to negate that? I kind of do. Like, this might be crazy, but it's their only Loam. I don't have Force of Negation in my deck. Or, I'm sorry, I don't have Surgical in my deck. And if they're low on lands, that might have been their entire game plan for building out their mana base. So, yeah. That might have been a really bad play. That might have been a really brilliant play. It's hard to tell. So here what I can do is I can go fetch an island, and then I can go fetch a plains if I'm confident the coast is clear. Got plenty of ways to shuffle excess lands back into my graveyard, or back into my library. Brainstorm's fine. Okay, so they do have land here. All right. Go get an island, and then I'm gonna plain cycle for a basic plains. Surgicaling it. That actually doesn't change anything because we still have 4th Aerolingus. They all have to surgical that too. They're just going down a card and take a bunch of damage here. We still get the land. If they exiled all 3 of them, they didn't miss one. Wait, did they miss one? They haven't finished yet, so they're still doing it. Okay, yeah, they got all 3 of them. So our win con is 4th Aerolingus, which is a pretty mighty win con. Let's grab a plains here. They know that we have Ruination now. If they were careful, they would have noticed that. So there's a risk in playing this out, which is that we 4th and they actually have a second surgical, or they can go get, put surgical back on top, and then we have literally no way to win the game. They are 2 turns away from being able to get, what's it called, to put that on top of their deck. I think I'm just going to go for this. Also, we don't have a lot of time, and just getting the Monarchy may go a long way in terms of they can counter this with a plow if they want, but I wouldn't be surprised if they boarded out the plows. That's fine. All right. So now the game becomes them getting Mystic Sanctuary and surgicaling our 4th Aerolingus before we can do that. Unfortunately, even if I get an island, I'm still a couple turns away from being able to do that. What are they doing here? Their own 4th. Okay, that's bad news. I think they have 1/4 in their entire deck. They may have 2. What I played when I was playing 4-color beans was I had a second one in the sideboard and I bring it in control mirrors, and they may have done that. Okay. So I think what we do here is we probably just play this out. We can go get an island, and I'm just going to go ahead and play out the Dowser here. Keeping... do I want to go ahead and do this now? I'll wait. So we're absolutely going to go get an island here. I don't really have anything to brainstorm back, which is why I didn't bother keeping blue up. Can't think of any reason why I would care about this. It's fine. Yep, they got their trigger. I'm just going to go ahead. I mean, the trigger's on the stack. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to get an island because I do want to be able to use... so remember to click it. All right, that's a pretty good card. Okay, I will take that Ruination. This is going to stop them from being able to easily get back to where they need to go. And so if they have a force, they can stop this. One option I have is to play this out, cast it, and then it's going to be destroyed anyway. I'm just going to go get my Volk here, because I need to be able to Pyroblast if they have force. Ruination. So, unfortunately, they could have a Force of Will, and I do want to wipe their board. So, if I tap out for this Pyroblast, they are going to be able to potentially force this. So, I'm going to just let them get my Dowser. Okay, so I'm just going to go cycle, and I'm going to get a island here, and then we can get a Mystic Sanctuary next turn. I can't play a turn, so we're going to take some more damage, but I'm optimistic that we can find our own. We're one land away from being able to Mystic Sanctuary Fourth Aerolingus back to the top of our deck. They do have mana. I mean, they're drawing 2 cards a turn, so they're not on the ropes yet. But I do think it's worth playing out this and not conceding here. Okay, they draw a card. I think I'm going to start by brainstorming here. We do have a plow up for one of these. We have a second plow. So I think we put this back, this back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and... Should I pass into combat? I want to get rid of both of these. Yeah, I think we just pass. So I'm going to definitely get the Tundra here, because I want to have my Mystic Sanctuary be live here. They now have Force of Negation mana. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get a Tundra here. I'll just plow the other one. It sucks to have to plow them, but I'm like so low in life that these are like legit threats. So they're getting like a, I don't know, like 8 for 1 or something off of that for Aerolingus. Okay, let's see what they do here. They might just fourth the second time to create a no, they don't have the mana now. Carpet of Flowers is unfortunate. They now have a lot of mana, and they have the Monarchy. I think I've lost this. Okay, they're not doing anything. So really, I need to draw a Fourth Aerolingus off the top, probably. That's not going to cut it. I think I'm just going to concede. I need time for next game. I could have definitely made it play it out, but I don't think that I'm going to catch up on clock. So we saw Fourth Aerolingus, but we didn't see any other spells. I think these are pretty bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they boarded out some of their arrows. Prismatic Ending, again, pretty mediocre. Like the only thing to target is the Beanstalk. So if we do bring Hydroblast back in, one Hydroblast, maybe one Hydroblast, one plow. We do it like that. And then we could bring a Supreme. Do we want to bring a Supreme Verdict back in? I don't think that's correct. I haven't seen any indication that they're playing Triumph of St. Catherine. So I think probably this is fine. The only substitution I'm thinking is maybe bringing in a second Hydroblast. It's hard to know how reliant they are on red, but they probably have their own Pyroblasts, I would think. And this is a tool against 4th Aerolingus, and it does pitch, and we do want to up our blue count, so I think it's fine. We can be pretty confident that they're going to be aggressively fetching. This is a good hand because we have 2 Dowsers, and we don't really have any way to find Dowsers. So I think we generally keep hands that have Dowser in them, especially if they have lots of land, which this also has. Okay, so I'm just going to start with a Tarn and make them think that I have potentially Hydroblast in hand or Pyroblast. It could be either one. And I just realized that I said that Prismatic Ending didn't hit anything but Beanstalk, but it does actually hit their carpet. So that was probably a misplay, taking that out. I think I'm going to get a Mountain and play a Plains just to reduce the likelihood that they're able to Windmill Slam a carpet. I would love for them to force this. All right. Beanstalk, perhaps? Well, that's good for me. Let's see what we draw here. We draw a Pyroblast. I think it's fine to go ahead and just flip and see what we get here. We should, there's like a greater than 50% chance. I think probably a 60% chance that we get a land there. I think we go ahead and play this out because this can get a second Plains, but we want to keep our islands to a minimum. I could definitely just, I think it's more careful to keep Pyroblast up just in case something crazy happens here. Like there's some sort of force of will exchange. Being able to blow them out with Pyroblast is good. And then we can play the Dowser and activate it next turn. I think it's fine. He has no graveyard. I'm just going to let that go. I don't want to go fetch a Tundra only to have it wasted. They may be thinking about playing Carpet. They're definitely telegraphing to me that they have Carpet. I'm just going to hold this fetch. That's really good. Here, what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to play out the second Dowser. That does cut us off. I think I'm going to go fetch. I'm going to get the second Plains. And then we do have swords in case of absolute emergency. But now we have both Hydroblast and Pyroblast to curb their worst tendencies. So if they don't play out Carpet, I'm most definitely going to crack and get an island so I can activate Dowser twice. Okay. Doesn't look like they're doing anything. End step. I'm going to go get an island. And I am going to go ahead and do this. And I'm also going to do this. They could have some brutal instant. They don't. All right. So we can bring this back, but I don't think that's what we want to do yet. I think we can cycle for an island. I'm a little bit worried. But we don't have any other non-island lands in our deck. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and island cycle here. Just get an island because I want to keep playing lands from forward momentum. I'll play it. I'm going to pass. And if they do have a Carpet, what I'll probably do is I'll douse, and see what I get, and then I'll force. Do we care about this? I don't think we do. Yeah, they can put my Timeless Dragon back in if they want. I think we can even take a hit here. It's not a big deal. They don't seem to have anything going on. 6 cards in hand. Maybe they're just waiting for more lands. That's fine. Okay, they found a land. So I'm going to go ahead and douse. Take that. Then I'm going to go ahead and douse with white. Island. Okay, so that's our last basic land in the deck. So from now on, if we want to do anything, we're going to be doing it into wasteland territory. I think we just hold another turn. I don't think it's necessary to play any of this stuff out. We've got lots of interaction. If we're going to be drawing up to 2 cards this turn, we're going to be taking a maximum of 3 damage here. They're still very far away from casting Uro. Their deck does not play a lot of win conditions, so plowing them might actually be fine here. I think I'm going to plow. I just like keeping life cushion in case they suddenly have 4th Aerolingus. And I would love for them to fight over this with like a hard cast force or something. That is Hardcast Force mana they are representing. So this is going to be a 1-for-1. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to douse. I'll take that. Then I'm going to douse again. Okay. So we milled over some lands. Yeah, let's draw. I think I am going to proactively see if I can set up a double douse here and hopefully dig toward Fourth Air Lingus. That is, in fact, a double douse. So let's do, or actually, it's not, because we're going to draw both of these cards. I'd rather them know I have a Brainstorm than a Force. So I will put Brainstorm and then I'll draw this. Okay. Okay, and we're really low on time. I think I am going to go ahead and get this Brainstorm here. Okay, and I think I'm going to Ponder again. I don't really want that other Dowser. Double Dowser. I just don't feel like we have enough mana, but I do want this land drop. So I think what we do is we just do this land drop here. And then I think I'm just going to pass with Force Negation, Hardcast up, and double Hydroblast, and double Brainstorm. And then we can shuffle, and we can douse. Because we know douse is just going to hit Dowser. Okay, I'm going to go fetch. I'm going to get a... Mystic Sanctuary doesn't really do anything. I think I'm just going to get a Tundra here. Another Tundra. I'm going to go ahead and douse. Okay, Timeless Dragon. That's a card we're going to cast this turn. All right, I'm going to start by pondering just to make sure I don't find a Fourth Air Lingus. These are all good cards. Let's draw that. And I think I'm going to give up one of my draws just to be able to get this into play. Can't be countered. I'll pass. Lots of ways of... I mean, if they waste a plow on it, I think we let that happen. Again, our goal is really to dig for a... so we have a land on top, so we can just go douse through the land. I actually kind of want the land. We have 2 fetchables left in our deck. What the heck is in their hand? They're not casting anything. They can potentially go get Uro. That is... I think we just force this. And I'll surgical, or I'll exile it. I'll pitch a Hydroblast. Okay. So that was a 2-for-1 for them. But again, we're going to be able to draw here. Okay, we really need... Oh, I should have done something there. I'm going to Brainstorm here in my upkeep. I should have done it after draw. That was dumb. Okay, so we have Ruination, which is going to be good. And it's not great, but it'll be not terrible. I'm going to put this back and this back. Then I'm going to douse to get that. Okay. And I'm going to douse again to get the other one. So you can see how, like, when you have double Dowser out, it's basically like a really expensive Ancestral Recall. Now I think we play this out. Okay. I'm not going to play this out until after I wipe the board. Blue, blue, red, white. This does kill 2 of my lands, and it wastes a lot of my clock. They'll probably force this. They have the ability to go fetch and cast Pyroblast on one of my forces, but I will fight this because, oh wow, it just resolved. That's amazing. Okay. And I think here we just wait. We don't actually have any planes left that we can fetch with Timeless Dragon, so I think we just hardcast it next turn. Okay. Do we want to get anything back? We have everything we need. I'm just going to keep it as is. I'm just going to... Oh, there we go. We can play that out. And I think we just go white, white, red, red, blue. Timeless Dragon. I think we just pass. We're going to have to hit him a lot. In step, we can douse, potentially. I think I'll force this because I want to keep applying pressure here. Okay. They're going to need another green source in order to return Uro to play. I'll probably just force Uro. I could potentially just go get the... I've got 2 minutes to close this game. It's going to be tight. I think they're probably going to try to return Uro here. Well, I'm going to force that. Wait. Check this out. I did this in paper the other day. Or like the other day being last night. Oh no, I don't have it. I don't have it. Okay, well, I'm just going to force this. That was a bad play. For some reason I thought I had 3 lands, but I destroyed them. Okay. 2 minutes left. I've got 2 cards in hand. I am going to Leyline just to press my advantage here. I'm going to need to attack quickly. They've done an admirable job of rebuilding their lands. Anything that goes in the graveyard here is good for me just because I don't want to be drawing lands. That's good. I'll take that. Okay. That can hit carpet. All right. I'm going to go ahead and attack. I'm just going to play the second one out. They've got 2 cards in hand. Even if they plow 1, I've got them on a pretty quick clock. I'm going to have time to be able to beat them, I believe. That's fine. So what we'll do is we'll just plan to probably force Uro if they get it. I mean, there's also a temptation to just Prismatic End Uro. So he gains 3, goes to 21. That means I have to do an extra turn of attacking. That's fine. I'm going to let that resolve, and then I'm going to Prismatic End it. I will force Solitude, though, if they have Cantripping Solitudes. Okay. All right. That should be game, because I'm just going to fourth like crazy here and finish it. Finish them. So I think the responsible thing to do is to go ahead and get rid of, cancel, get rid of this. All right, now we're just going to go all the way in on a Fireball. I'm not sure if this is lethal because I'm under so much time pressure. It's not. They're going to get 1 more turn. So if they have like that 1 card, I'm screwed. Supreme Verdict. Okay, 36 seconds. I may be able to figure out ways to eat up my clock. Bringing Uro back is not going to do it. I'm basically just going to force anything that stops me from being able to win next turn. They're at 1. I don't think forcing Uro is correct here. Okay, I think we won. They're still going to make us attack, though. All right, that was a tense control mirror. Yep, let's attack. Attack with all creatures. Yep. We won it, and that was pretty tough. These are going to be uphill matches. Let's go into round 2. Round 2 against Duck Duck Mongoose. Let's take a look at Duck Duck Mongoose. I do like their name. Duck Duck Mongoose. Also Beanstalk control. This is recent. We can probably assume they're on Yoran Beanstalk. Shark Typhoon is powerful. They're doing basically the JTL list. It looks like they've got a lot of cards that don't actually affect us, really. This is a keep. My reasoning has a good mix of lands here. Oh, they may be on Delver, which I do think is a favorable matchup for us because we have so many blasts. What did they see? Bobble, what did you see? All right. I think we just play this out and we be patient. There's no need to force with this. If they're playing Bowmaster's deck, which we'll see shortly, they're probably going to get a Bulk here. Okay, they're getting that. The Monarchy is very risky against this deck because they have so many evasive creatures. Looks like they're looking for a land maybe, but I'm never going to try to cheese them. We just want stability. All right, another bubble. They're playing their lands. They're filling up their graveyard. We don't have a way to interact with graveyards at all. So we're not going to be able to stop large Murktides. We're just going to be able to remove them once they come into play. Okay. They're hitting... Wait, what did they do? They targeted me? There's no reason that I need to let them know what I have on top. I'm going to go fetch an island with this. Okay. Now, we'll draw. I think we play this out and we pass, and we have a lot of different optionality. Of course, Timeless Dragon, Eternalize is very strong against Delver because it's a 4/4 and most of their creatures are 3 toughness, and some of them even have to attack in. So my biggest concern is just a clock here, like last round. This is definitely a boon if they decide to Murktide here. It's fine. There's no reason we have to use Timeless Dragon here. We can go ahead and try to efficiently use our mana end step. I think it's fine to go ahead and just do this. Their Murktide isn't that big. So I think I get probably another island, and then I can cycle for plains. And I'm just going to get a basic plains here. All right. So again, they don't know what we're actually drawing. They just saw random cards from our deck. We got a second plow, which is excellent. I'm going to do this. And do I think it's time to ponder to look for more lands? I don't think we need to. I think we just chill. We have a land drop, and we have another piece of interaction. I am thinking they're playing the red-blue version, which is what most people are playing. It's kind of been proven to be better than Grixis. So do we want to hold this for a force? Force is pretty weak. I would love to find a Dowser. Let's see if we can find a Dowser. Okay, we found a Dowser. So I don't want to draw this force at all. I do want to draw this Tarn. I'm trying to think of a situation where they would be able to like Thoughtseize it out of our hand. I think we just wait and we play the Dowser next turn. And we did play the plains this turn. I'm not crazy, right? So, all right. I wouldn't be surprised if they had Wastelands in hand. Nothing. Interesting. Very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if they had Wastelands, but I'm not sure why they wouldn't just play out the Wasteland. Here, I think what we do is we do go ahead and just get the land now. Let's get a mountain here, and we're not going to be using the mountain, so I'll just do Dowser here, and I'll keep one of each mana up, keep them guessing a little bit. They may force this. Force negation. Do I want to force back? This is how I break parity. I think it's okay to force back. There's not much in their deck worth forcing that I can't, just remove myself. Seek the Beast. If they flip a force, that's bad news. I can't even tell what they flipped because the interface is so screwed up. What do they flip? Force negation. Okay, where is the Seek the Beast? Okay. What did they get? It's so irritating. I think this is stacked in sequence of what they revealed. So they have their own force. Okay. So, and they pitched, what did they pitch? They pitched a Murktide. They really wanted to stop that. All right. They're down to 2 cards. I'm feeling pretty good because next turn I'm going to do a Dazed Protection for 4th for 2. Unless they have some sort of creature. And I will probably just remove their creature with Plow regardless of what it is here. Oh, they're just going to play that out? Yeah, that's fine. So they technically kind of got like a 3 for 2, which is pretty good. Yeah, that was like a 3-drop basically. But I am going to remove it because my plan is to 4th now. That will be good later. It will be very good if they won't have 2 bolts to stop this. So I do think we're going to get the Monarchy here. All right, and we're the beatdown against the Delver deck. 5 lands in play. That's not what they want to see. Do we get a blue card? No. In fact, this card's terrible against them because it's like a really expensive Prismatic Ending. I'm really surprised they haven't drawn any threats. If they draw a Murktide, I'm going to be pretty worried because it can be a 5/5. We can make a Timeless Dragon next turn. I think that's the play. It looks like they're exiling graveyard cards. Yeah, that's fine. So actually, that is bigger than our Timeless Dragon, which is kind of concerning. Hopefully we can find a Plow or something like that. Prismatic Ending actually really bad here. This is a 7-drop, so we'd have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, March of Otherworldly Light not being particularly strong here. I'm going to go ahead and just get this back. Just because we don't really have anything better to do. And this way they'll have to attack in and we'll keep the Monarch for an extra turn. Actually, it might be, we might just let them hit us. Let's see what they do. Let's see what we draw off this. I would love to draw. Okay, what are they getting here? Okay, they may be able to bounce it. They're seeking the beast again. Okay. This time they exiled a lightning bolt and a delta. So they're going to be able to play the delta. They're going to have the bolt for maybe one of our knights. I'm not sure what they're going to go for here, but drawing a second Timeless Dragon is good. We can actually hard cast it, especially if we get another land. We could just hard cast it. Okay, they're playing this out. They've got 2 cards in hand. They have Lightning Bolt in exile. What are they targeting with Lightning Bolt? Okay, what is this targeting? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Are they going to double bolt? Unholy Heat? Okay, that's fine. It does kill that, and it grows their Questing Druid, which I'm going to most definitely Prismatic End next turn. All right, so they're taking the Monarchy. They have 1 card in hand. They're going to have 2. All right, they get the trigger. Let's see what we draw. Prismatic Ending. I think we do go ahead and Prismatic End this first. I think that's a pretty easy decision. Now I think we attack with both of these. We are going to want to get the Monarch back. We're weak. They could most definitely just slam another Murktide here. Okay. Now I think I go get a Tundra. Play it out. And we do have the ability to get rid of some of their cheaper creatures at instant speed. Oh, that's good. I didn't even realize I had another Plains in my deck. I should have thought about that because that's definitely better than a Tundra here. All right, so we're going to take a crunch here. They're going to get a card off of the Monarchy. Got a lot of action going on over there. They still have a Questing Druid in their deck that they could potentially flip for card advantage. All right. So, 4th Aerolingus, they're at 13. Let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get 4 tokens. So that's 12, but that's not lethal. They're basically threatening lethal here. The alternative we have is to go ahead and bring back Timeless Dragon, which I think is a lot safer. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and attack in and see what they do. Okay. Next turn we will have lethal, but this turn we need to get our shields up. Thankfully that can't be countered, but it can be bounced. Do we get a blue card? Blue card will make me feel a lot better. Okay, great. Block here. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to let you bolt me to death. It's fine. We can just march it end step. Are they going to interact somehow? It doesn't actually affect anything, I don't think. So let's think. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we're gonna create 1, 2, 3, 4 plus these 2. So we're going to be attacking for. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, so we're going to be attacking for 12, I believe. So I think this is fine. Let's let them do that. And actually, it's really fortuitous that they use the Spell Pierce there because they're not going to be able to. We're not going to need to worry about Spell Pierce on 4th. Let's see what we draw. Land would be good. Okay, another force is fine. I think we do that and then probably that and just keep our options up. He'll probably concede. He's forcing, so we can force back. 1 card in hand, so we don't have to worry about force here. I think we did it. Okay, they're at 8. They're about to take 12. Okay, we did it. This feels a lot better than the Arrow build. We didn't even get a Dowser in play, and we just had a lot of play there. All right, so I'm going to grab this. Grab these. I don't think Ruination's worth it against Delver, even though they didn't have any basics in play that game. I think we can definitely take out Force Negation. I also think March is not totally dead. I like Supreme Verdict. We could probably take out one of our Force of Wills. I don't think trying to defend 4th is really like something we want to be doing. March is pretty bad, as we established. I think we take it out. Yeah, so I think we go like back like this. All right. This is a keep because we can cycle. It's not a great hand, but we've got a path to having enough mana, and we have a Supreme Verdict, which is a huge comfort blanket for us. All right, so I'm going to play this out, and there's a decent chance they're going to try to waste this, in which case we can respond by Lorien revealed, get a basic. Yep, they're probably digging for a wasteland because they know I wouldn't lead Tundra unless I didn't have anything better to lead with. Oh, wow. Oh, no, never mind. That was in step. I was like so excited for a second there. Okay, so again, just like getting used to MTGO's interface has been like a struggle. I think we just go ahead and lean in, right? Like, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get non-basics. That may sound crazy and against the spirit of the deck, but I think it's fine. And then I can just wait and Dragon Cycle here, or Plane Cycle. And I'll probably just get a plateau so we can set up our colors. We're going to need 2 white for Supreme Verdict. That's fine. Let's see what they flipped. They flipped a Pyroblast in a day. So this is great because we're not going to do anything this turn. These are basically 2 dead cards. And they still don't have a wasteland. Okay, they're playing that out. That's fine. This is something that's going to get swept up in the Supreme Verdict. Although I won't cast Supreme Verdict probably until I have 2 targets. This is extremely heartening, though, that they haven't had wasteland. Because that's what I was really worried about when I started playing this hand. So until their next end step, so they can't cast either of these anymore, I don't believe. I think we just play out the Dowser. I'll keep my Tundra up. They may try to force this. Are they going to brainstorm in response? Desperation brainstorm. No, it's a Spell Pierce. Well, that's fine, because I've got a second one. Spell Pierce is a great card. It's very underplayed, and I'm glad Delver decks are playing it, because I think just a one of Spell Pierce in your 75 is really solid, especially when you got Wastelands. All right, Counterbalance. I cannot countenance. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm in response, and I'm probably going to have to Desperation Force if they... oh, we can potentially get rid of it with Pyroblast. So what are we putting back? Like these brainstorms just got really bad. Okay. So what I need to do now is I need to like bait. It's fine. They're probably going to put like a 2 or a 3 on top. I'm not sure what they're going to put on top. 1 is probably the logical thing to put. So I have to wait for a window where this is definitely vulnerable, and then I have to Pyroblast it. The fact that they're tapped out and they're pondering, yeah. So we're definitely going to fetch away that, what do we do here? So if we Supreme Verdict, then we can fourth next turn, and it's extremely unlikely they're going to be able to counter it. I think what we do is we play this out. I think it's worth losing a Dowser to sniff out a potential Pyroblast. So let's see. If they don't attempt to flip to this, then I'll know for sure that they have the ability. Are they going to flip it to? No, they have Thundering Falls. Okay. Blood is in the water. Why did they put that on top if they could put anything? I'm just going to get rid of it. They may have Force. Okay, and yeah, unfortunately, like I know my top card is a Brainstorm. I guess I can wait a turn cycle, but no, I'm not going to wait a turn cycle because I do want to activate this if they don't do anything. I hope they play additional creatures. That's what I hope they do. Looks like they might be seeking the beast again. Yep. Does buff this. What did they exile this time? Hydroblast and Lightning Bolt. Okay, well they can definitely like go to town and start tempoing me out here. I'm feeling pretty vulnerable. There's the Bolt. It's going to buff that. So I'm going to take 8 here. I'm going to take 9 here. Okay, so I'm going to drop to 4. My deck does kind of have ways to gain life. Yeah, I think we just take it. I mean, there's definitely a risk that they also went and what What do we get? I think we get Plains just to ensure that we're able to cast Supreme Verdict here. And then I'm just going to... Oh, that's good. Okay. Oh, that's also extremely good. So I think what we do here is I'm just going to start by ending this, seeing what they do here. If they force to protect it, then I've got Plow. They won't force to protect it. And then I'm just going to wait. And I'm going to hopefully get them to play out some more creatures, and then I'll be ready to Supreme Verdict. But they have 0 pressure other than, you know, potentially 2 lightning bolts, which would kill me, obviously. And Price of Progress. This isn't Price of Progress mana. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm gonna Supreme Verdict next turn for sure. I think what I do here is I attempt to brainstorm, and if I do, then I can put like a bunch of stuff on top. Okay, that was great. So what I'm gonna put on top is I'm gonna put 4th Aerolingus. What do I want them to see? I don't care if they see 4th. And wait, they're going to see Supreme Verdict next turn because I'm going to cast it next turn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top that they've already seen. So I'll draw like this. Okay, so so much thought. Okay, so I'm going to put Plow. Then I'm going to draw it. Okay, so I'm going to do it like that. It actually doesn't matter because I'm going to draw 2 turns in a row. So I'm just going to go boop. Activate it now, as soon as they pass priority. They probably stepped away because it was taking like forever to resolve that brainstorm. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Boom. Grab that. I just want to show the graveyards. It's annoying that I always have to click that. And then I'm going to go to my turn, and I'm going to go boom, and I'm going to go ahead and show the Supreme Verdict, which I'm going to put into my hand. And now I'll draw Wild. That's a good card to draw. That is a path to victory. So we're going to go ahead and just do white, white, blue, whatever. Yeah, let's just do like that. No, I'm not crazy. I'm going to do that. Supreme Verdict. I can't stop it. And now I can pass. And I played my land. I'm going to pass. My hand is stacked. Absolutely stacked. I'm going to play out a Timeless Dragon. Like hard cast next turn. Fine. They're going to need to find double bolt or some sort of instant speed removal. Once I have Timeless Dragon out, I can Plow it to gain life if absolutely necessary. So I do want to put my cards out in a way that I can do that. If they just find the other 2 bolts though, let's see what's in exile. They don't have any bolts in exile. They have a Hydroblast, a Pyroblast, and a Daze in exile. So it really comes down to whether they can find direct damage at this point. If they don't find direct damage, I think I'm okay. See, actually, even if they find Price of Progress, Price of Progress, I'm dead. It's not going to matter. It's fine. I'm going to kill that next turn. All right, I'm going to draw. I am going to play my Flooded Strand. Going to attempt to Plow this, even though I don't really need to. Like that was probably unnecessary. White, blue, white, white. I'm just gonna go ahead and fetch now. Let's get a basic Plains is pretty important. Yeah, and then I'll just tap that, and I will Timeless. So we are really low on time. They may force here. I don't actually have red, unfortunately, because I tapped out a red. If they force, I can Eternalize. All right. So it's just a question of whether they find Price of Progress or 2 bolts. If they find either of those, we're dead. If they don't find those, we have a decent chance of being able to tempo them out. Okay. Got a Pyroblast. Now they can kill us. Oh, that's fine. All right. So I'm thinking that we may just want to go ahead and 4th here. Yeah, I don't have time to think. I'm just going to go for it. No, I'm going to keep some pyros up. If they force here, we have Pyroblast. If they Hydroblast, we have Pyroblast. I don't think they bring in Hydroblast here. I'm going to attempt to fetch here. I'll get an island. I'll pay? Yes. Does it resolve? We're going to go to combat. I think there's a very good chance that they are able to kill us before we're able to kill them, but I'm going to try. We drew the plow, which does answer one of their outs. All right, this is good. I want to douse. I will absolutely take that. I mean, I'm going to take it literally anything. It flips. It's kind of ridiculous that it even asks you. It should just do it. I'm going to attack here. I have lethal, but I'm going to hold. I should have just gone for lethal there. I think we go ahead and do this just to have something to plow in case they do have bolts. Again, I think we're extremely favored against Dover. I don't think it's a miracle that we've won this. With so many blasts, I think it's like we should definitely be able to win. What they're trying to do is they're trying to dig to find another bolt. Price of progress kills both of us. Worth noting. Okay, I failed to Dowser there because I was just so in like attack, get through this really quick mode. Okay. We did it. 2-0. So one question you may be asking at this point, why is he playing four main deck force negations? And the answer is, okay, so I always hit yes first, so that way they can think I'm looking at my, I'm like doing a bunch of storm calculations or something like that when I'm actually just looking them up. Besiege Storm. Well, this is one of the reasons why playing a lot of the negations is good. Also, we just frankly run out of good instants and sorceries to include. So this is going to be a keep. This is a force. If they're playing kind of like a force check deck, I think we keep here, and I'll just play a... Actually, so there's like kind of a sneaky thing I could do, which would be to play out the plateau so they think that we're like initiative or something, and then they go for it and we're able to force it. But that like essentially eliminates our ability to do anything else. We're not going to ponder anyway. I kind of like that play. Okay, we'll see whether this works. Because if we play a plateau, they're going to think like, there's no way this person has force of will, and then they're going to go all in, and then we're just going to have force of will. So you can be whatever you want to be. If you can dream it, you can do it. I think that's like from like a Saturday morning cartoon thing. Wasteland would be welcome. I mean, they're on Besiege Storm. Like, I mean, I'm assuming they're on Besiege Storm. This is pretty recent. Let's take a look at their list. I shouldn't be so presumptive. One other more dangerous technique you can use is... Okay, so they're on the Orcish Bowmasters, Lava Spur Boots. It's basically like Mono Black Storm almost. Yeah, it's almost completely black, except for the Echo. Okay, maybe they're not on Besiege Storm. The plot thickens. Okay. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to freaking force if they have Blood Moon here, because I didn't think that they would be on this deck. I probably would not force a Trinisphere, but I will force a Moon Effect. And then I'm going to immediately go fetch a Plains so that I have lots of outs. They're thinking very hard about what to put under this Chrome Mox. Put a Fury under there. I mean, this could be like throwing off the scent. This could be making them think, oh, do I really want to play... Like, what decks play Plateau? Stompy decks, right? Okay, they're not going to expect this. I'm just going to do it. All right. Unfortunately, like, we don't have cards that punish this. I guess if I draw like a Prismatic Ending, I can get rid of that Mox, but that's about all I can do tempo-wise, and that's a really bad draw. I'm just going to go ahead and play this out, and yeah, probably have to fetch the Island. But if I fetch Island, I'm basically just using it to sift through my deck and try to find my Plains and other cards. Yeah, I'm kind of regretting playing out the Plateau, but in hindsight's 2020. We had no reason to suspect them not being on Besiege Storm, right? But I can see why people play this deck. It's good. If you just want to win and you want to win quickly, this is a good deck to win quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they're multi-queuing with like how long they're waiting in between every little action I'm taking. Okay. Wow. No play. I guess they are down to two cards. And now I don't even have to get rid of, now I don't even have to stop. Yeah, I think I just go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get an island, and I'm going to try to see if I can find something. Like, I would definitely like to get a Dowser at this point. 2 Dowsers. Well, sure. I'll take them. Actually, I can only take 1 because I am going to go ahead and cast it this turn. I'm going to go get a Plains here. We're not going to be able to use it yet, but it's still good to just have it on the table. Yeah, like every literal thing I do, it's like, they're taking a long time to pass priority back to me. So I don't think there's any real risk here. Now that we got our engine online, I don't know if they even have a way to remove that engine. It is a very good feeling knowing you can just kind of laugh off Blood Moon from here on out. This is one of the reasons I like the Jeskai version. If we were on the other version, we'd be like on pins and needles. Like, are they going to cast another Blood Moon effect? Oh, no. But with the Jeskai playing, 6 basics, we are pretty Blood Moon proof. We just have to actually have, a way to get those in our opener. This is fine. I can plow it. I would love for them to like throw that at me and just get overly aggressive. I don't think they will. Okay. So this is just going to get plowed. Let's see what we draw here. Brainstorm. Brainstorm can guarantee we get some value off of this. I'm not opposed to it. Okay. So I think what we do here is we put 2 cards back. I'm going to put 4th. Or wait, I'll put Lorien. Then plow. Then I'm going to play this. I'm going to activate this. Get my plow. Bring this up here so I can more easily click on it. They're probably reading the card. I would not be surprised if this is the first they'd ever seen it. I'll grab it. And now, next turn I can just do the same thing. I think actually I'm going to wait until they are ready to attack, because if they could play some creature that's even more scary than this. They said BRB, so I'm going to chill and just relax and take some deep breaths with the mics off. We got movement all over the place. All right. They are casting a 4-drop. My goodness. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to stop this, but I am going to be able to 4th next turn and take that away. I think it's better to go ahead and hit the broadside here, just because it can immediately attack and save me some damage. Yeah, that sucks, but it's going to resolve. I'm not going to... Oh, I can't even brainstorm. Desperation brainstorm. I know exactly what's on top of my deck. That's fine. They're going to go get the land. I am going to plow... Do I want to plow this? This does draw cards. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. I will plow broadside next turn. They got a mountain, I presume. Let me make sure that that's what they got. Puts triggered ability. Okay, what was the revealed card? Okay, maybe I can't imagine. Oh, they're getting a mountain now. Okay, I'm a dumb. I didn't notice that the trigger was still on the stack. All right, they're gonna attack. I do like the idea of just like leaving a bunch of 4th Aerolingus tokens out there, but I won't have that many actually. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I am still gonna activate in my upkeep. I'll just activate with that. I'll take that. Okay, and let's see if we draw a land here. No land, but this is something we can prismatic ending, and then next turn we can. So I'm gonna do this. Just gonna go get another island. Should I get a Mystic Sanctuary? No. Just gonna get an island. Play it out. Then I'm just gonna remove this now. I'd like to do stuff at instant speed. Now they're gonna be able to do other stuff. But yeah, just clearing their board. We'll see what they have, but I'm okay with them going a little further into the dungeon, because we're gonna 4th and we're gonna take it away from them. And I am gonna hold back. Do I have any reason to hold back? If they play out creatures, obviously I'm gonna hold back. Yes, they are scrying as was foretold by Be Excellent. As was foretold is a card, I believe. Otherwise, I'm like a terrible reference maker. As was foretold. As foretold by the prophecy. Okay, so maybe it's not an MTG card. As foretold. Okay, not as was foretold. Okay. The One Ring. Well, this sucks. This means that I can't take their stuff away. This is really bad, actually, because they're going to be able to do a lot of stuff. They've got the initiative. They're basically guaranteed to hold the initiative for another turn. They're going to draw some cards. They're going to almost certainly find some interaction. So their engine is definitely going to go over my engine. The good news is I don't really have to think about what I'm going to do next turn. I'm just going to activate this and probably play my other Leyline Dowser as well and just try to find more land so I can have a bigger fourth. I think it's unlikely they're going to get low enough that I'm going to be able to one-shot them with fourth. That would be really cool. Oh, another fourth. Okay. I think we go ahead and deal combat damage. So we're not going to deal combat damage, obviously. I think we just play that out and we probably pass. I don't think there's any. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can't even draw a land. Wait, actually, I'm gonna brainstorm because if I can find a land, I'm gonna take that land. Okay, we found a land. Supreme Verdict, very good. If things start getting crazy, we don't need the second, fourth. Well, actually, we want both of these cards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them both on top. I'm gonna play the plains, and then I'll be able to douse both of them. So you're drawing 2 cards. Well, gee, so am I. And I'll even be able to activate Lorien Lorien Revealed. I'm going to activate it so that I can go get another land for the subsequent turn. Okay, so they're getting a treasure token here. Do they have a creature? They will after they tap this One Ring, unless I'm extremely unlucky. Or unless they're extremely unlucky. I would be very lucky if they didn't have a creature here. They may have stuff like Blood Moon, Trinisphere, other stuff that doesn't matter. Okay. Another Caves of Chaos, advancing them quite steadily. Yep. They're going to go into Catacombs. They're going to get a Spooky Skeleton. It is increasingly looking like I'm going to lose this game. But they cannot attack me. So I'm going to stay at 13 here. Douse. I'll take it. Douse. I'll take it. The question is, oh yeah. So I think I'll have 7 mana, which means I'll have enough, just enough to Supreme Verdict and a fourth, which is not guaranteed to get me where I need to go. Let's just make sure I don't screw this up. So I need 3 white. I've got 3 white. Might as well get a Tundra just to maximize flexibility. Yeah, so I'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to go to my turn. I'm going to draw. Prismatic Ending is not terrible. I mean, it can deal with the Spooky Skeleton, but I think it's better to just do this and then do this. I'm trying to think of any sort of card they could have that they might be able to deploy at instant speed to stop this. The reality is they're almost certainly going to be able to attack back somehow off these 3 cards. Okay, it's good that I didn't get one of my basic lands, because now I can go get one. I will get a basic island, because you're going to give me a whole lot of mountains. Okay, let's go. Draw a card. Okay, so I'm not going to say we're ahead, because again, the ring is very powerful. Even if we 4th fireball them next turn, they may still survive. They can still potentially kill me, just like outright kill me, if they have, say, double Broadside Bombardiers. They've got 7 cards in hand. They've got so much mana. Okay, Broadside probably. Yep. What else do you have? Do you have a second Broadside for me? Chrome Mox. Okay, that's something you can throw at me. You gonna embed something there? No. If you don't kill me this turn, I am going to hopefully kill you next turn. Okay, throw something at me. Take the initiative. Get the Throne of the Dead 3. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. You gonna which sequence they're in? I just need to watch my clock. Okay. What do you get? 10 cards. Should I even bother looking at them? They're all pretty terrifying. Wait, are there a creature? There's a Simian Spirit Guide. That's literally the only thing. Okay. That's kind of almost comical. It's like by far the worst creature in their deck, and that was the only 1 out of 10 looks. Okay, what do they have here? I would love nothing more, okay, than to find my other Supreme Verdict. That'll give me a lot of breathing room. So they're down to 4 cards. Okay, so let's do some math. They've got so many blockers, there's no way I can kill them with 4th. So what we're going to try to do is... Okay, Prismatic Ending. So I think what we do first is I'm just going to douse and see if I can find... Brainstorm is good. I'll take it. Okay, now I'm going to brainstorm here. What I'm really looking for is Supreme Verdict. We found it. Okay. So what I think we do here is we Supreme Verdict. So I'll put this basic back. I'll put this Prismatic Ending back, I guess. Play a land out. Oh, I can get the Prismatic Ending back. Let's do that. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can Supreme Verdict, and then we can potentially go get Supreme Verdict to wipe their board again, and we can just wait until they get low enough in life that we can kill everything. I think that's the plan. All right. Do we want to kill their Mox? We don't. We do actually have a Tundra that we can go get. I think I'm going to go get it. This is so inconsequential. It feels bad, but like I just want to choke their mana. I'm not going to have time to cast that this game. We just have to see. So this turn, they're probably going to go toward like being able to trap me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 cards in hand. Craziness. I definitely could have gone and gotten the card that lets me... I could have gotten Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't affect the game, really. But if they have that other card, they can just throw this at me and kill me. So, but they don't have the mana for that. Okay, good. I'm amazed they didn't have anything better to do. They have to have Broadside. They have to. Okay, there's the land. There's the Broadside. Unlicensed Hearse. Okay, well, that doesn't really matter. Okay, well, that's all things said and done. That's really lucky. And now they're going to take 4. So I just need to hit them for 10, and I can hit them for more than that, assuming they don't have any sort of instant speed shenanigans. They're going to go get a land here. Why is it triggering now? Oh, they're discarding. That's what's happening. Okay. All right, I'm just going to go get a land just in case it's some crazy circumstance where they are able to get rid of some of them. And I'm just going to fireball them. Let's get the island here. Red, white. We're just going to 4th. You see what's coming. Done. It only took us 11 minutes to play this single game against 11 minutes of our clock. It's been like 20 minutes. Okay, so we're not going to screw up. We are going to successfully attack with everything. And they are going to maybe survive this, but they're not going to survive the ring. That was my own win. I flipped no creatures once. Okay. So I'm trying to like be friendly and commiserate, like, because they know that they got a horrible flip. Like, it doesn't get much worse than that. So Meltdown doesn't really do a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure that we really board. What do we board out? Well, I think Forced Negation is not terrible here. March can actually hit Chalice, but you actually have to pay 2 for it, which kind of sucks. I mean, it's not any cheaper than Prismatic Ending. I think it's better than some of the other cards in here. We could take these out, and then we've just got this. Pyroclasm is potentially good. I think it's better than a lot of the cards in here. Maybe it's better than this. We don't want to cut our blue any thinner, really. So let's see. We cut that, and we did technically add 3 blue cards in. I think we're good. We're going to do that. Forced Negation is just really bad because, like, the biggest... They've got Caverns, and they do have like really powerful cards. This is pretty slow. We do have Force plus Verdict. I think we keep this. And what we do is we force their first threat. We play a Mystic Sanctuary. We're probably going to die. They're beginning with 7 cards in hand. Okay, I'm going to have faith. My main reasoning is Force Will plus blue card is not terrible. So it'll be that, by the way, because we need this Hydroblast to stay alive. And then we do have access after we forced to getting a basic. So I'll go get basic island, and then I'll go get basic plains with the dragon. So we have our land drops for the first 3 turns lined up. Yeah, we have to do this, unfortunately. I'm not going to count on drawing Lorien Revealed. The good news is they did go down to 3 cards in hand. Okay. And they have 1 permanent mana source out. So the sad thing is I am kind of tempted to just go get my island here, because if they're not going to have a follow-up though. What if they do have a follow-up? If they had a Ancient Tomb, their hand would have to be Ancient Tomb. I'll just hold my Mystic Sanctuary. Maybe I'll never need to use it. Yeah, that's positive thinking. Maybe I'll be able to shuffle it in with like a turn 4 Brainstorm or something like that. Magical thinking. This is Magic the Gathering after all. Hearse, Chalice. Chalice is fine. All right. So I think this turn, I mean, we may actually get there. I'm going to play this out. And I'm just going to pass with the goal of Timeless Dragoning. Is Timeless Dragon too slow? They've got 2 cards in hand. Do we want to press our advantage? Do we want to dig closer toward... Yeah, I think we go ahead and we get Island, we get Plains, and we go ahead and play this out. And there's a very decent chance that they are going to do broadside shenanigans or something like that. But at least we've got our basic lands covered. And we can get a second basic land, and then we can cast Timeless Dragon, or eternalize it from our graveyard, rather. An embalmed zombie token. Ancient Tomb. Trinisphere. That doesn't really affect me. They have 1 card left in hand. Hopefully, if it were a threat, they would have played it by now. All right, I'm going to play this out. And I'm going to pass with the ability to plow instant speed up, and the ability to Leyline plus land cycle. I'm really glad I didn't play out this Mystic Sanctuary. That would have been bad, and it would have exposed me to risk that was never realized, but still risk. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to plow because of Chalice. Meltdown would be okay here. It would be a 2-for-1. This is kind of frustrating. Yeah, even if I Delver, Dowser, I'm not gonna be able to get an answer to this. So they're gonna be able to get a land. I'm going to Dragon Cycle first before I Douse to increase the likelihood that I get a card off of it. All right. Let's go ahead and Dragon Cycle, or Plane Cycle rather. I'll get my basic planes. Okay, we just flipped a fetch, which again is fine because it's like a land we didn't want to draw anyway. All right, let's see if we can draw. Oh, I think we're probably dead. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. I'll do this now and see if I can find a prismatic ending. Hydroblast that we can't cast. I think we play this out so we can go get an island, a basic island just in case. Yeah, this Chalice is doing some serious work here, and we've got 11 minutes on clock, so I will very quickly scoop if I can't find a Chalice. But if I can find a prismatic ending, we can turn this around very quickly because we can potentially eternalize. Yeah, I mean they went from like nothing in hand, nothing going on, 1 card in hand, to being very much in the driver's seat with this Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Okay. The unfortunate thing to note is even if I am able to remove this, there's still a Trinisphere in play, and I still can't do anything. What do they reveal? Does it not show what they reveal? I'm just going to skip. My time's more valuable for next game. The Chalice was definitely MVP there, whether they realize it or not. Do we want to bring in March just for Chalice? March does kind of remove other creatures. It's not terrible. I do stand by Pyroclasm, though. I do think it's good. Maybe we don't need 2 of them. But, like, I think the only creature in their deck that this does not kill is Caves of Chaos Adventurer. Maybe we want to cut some Ponders. Ponder's like a really bad card against their deck in general. That does reduce our blue count. The other thing is we could pull Ponders and put Force Negations back in because they're going all in on these crazy threats. So if we do that, that's not embarrassing. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I think I'm just going to do 3 of them. So we have not that many blue cards. Do we want to... This is like the most clunky answer ever to like anything in the deck. I don't think we play it. I think I'm actually going to do this. Yep. And then if they're transferring and stuff, like, I mean, they are playing a lot of non-creature hate pieces here. This is a solid hand. Solid. We don't need to worry about... we're on the play. We're keeping this. We do kind of need to worry because we don't have a way to fetch a basic. We might open Island just as a show of strength. Like, oh, you're going to play Blood Moon against me? I've already got an Island on play. But, yeah, I think that's fine. You could also argue that we should play this first because then we can go fetch the other island. And if they have Blood Moon, we still have 2 blue islands. But we can get one of the islands with this if we need to. So we're going on a Chalice here, which I think is worth forcing. I'll pitch this. I can get some selection and maybe put back a redundant land next turn. All right. Yeah. One more turn and we have Hardcast Force Negation. That's one of the reasons I play the deck. We're not really casting a lot. It's not really a tap out type deck. So we often can just pay and Force Negation. Okay, so they have terrible mana here. Probably going to play like a Trinisphere, which I'm going to ignore. Okay, I'll just do this. All right, Pyroclasm, not looking that powerful right now. I think we can actually just draw through these. It's fine. I'm going to let it resolve. Okay. I think I am going to go ahead and draw that land. And then I have the ability to fetch next turn. And we're 1 turn away from being able to use Supreme Verdict. I will probably fetch because I think I put another land down there. Or I put a Pyroclasm. So if they play out like a creature that Pyroclasm can kill, I'll just keep Pyroclasm. That will involve me having to go fetch Valk, which does put us in a more precarious position as far as... so they don't have red mana. Okay, they're taking even more damage. They're probably one-ringing here. I'm trying to think of anything else they would do here with that much mana. Are they just passing? If they just pass, that's so good for us. Okay. That trigger resolves. Bombardiers. Nothing I can do about that. If they throw Trinisphere at me, send me a Spirit Guide. Double Bombardiers. Normally I'd be freaking out right now, but because I've got Supreme Verdict, I'm like, sure. I'll take it. I am going to go get an island here, I think. Let's see if they throw the Trinisphere. They don't. Okay, great. So this is going to be a tasty 2-for-1. Actually, Pyroclasm. Holy cow, Pyroclasm's on top. We're just going to cast that. Oh, man. This is great. Okay, so I'm going to play this out, and I'm just going to go ahead and... Unfortunately, I'm going to drop out of the ability to protect here. I'll just get this. There's no point in getting Mountain in this matchup. All right. We can get another basic island with Lorraine revealed if we'd like. What is this? The One Ring. Unfortunately, I can't interact with that, but they're at 9 life, so we may be able to just stop them somehow. I don't know. The best draw in our deck is probably... I think I am going to use this. I don't want to keep this in my hand. Yeah, I'll just get this. Best draw in our deck is absolutely positively Fourth Aerolingus because we can kill them here. Okay, this is a terrible draw. Let's just pass. We're just going to have to wait for the ring to kill them if they get greedy and tap it a lot. I like the fact that we can, you know, use Force Negation for its actual mana cost here. Cards we will force would definitely include Blood Moon, because if they are able to resolve Blood Moon, then we can't Supreme Verdict. I don't think they have a way to get rid of this other than by casting another one. They don't have a lot of mana. This is going to do damage to them if they tap it. That's another reason to counter Blood Moon, is if we stop them from being able to do that. If they don't do anything this turn, I'll be stunned and I will just Brainstorm. Fable is something that I'm going to counter. This is a card that can get them back in the game. Okay, they've got lots of mana, but they have to kill me very quickly now, and I'm at 14 life. That's a great pickup, because now we can ponder and potentially Brainstorm and force. But I'm not gonna risk it right now. I'm just gonna wait. So they're going to 4. They can't tap this tomb. If they do, they have to win immediately. Okay, they're going to basically 1 here. They're not gonna be able to tap that. Wow, this is climactic. I think that this is not going to be good enough for them. They're going to have to win next turn. I think it's okay for me to go ahead and do this, just in case I do spike a Force Negation. Okay, so we're going to put this back. This is not a part of this game. This is not a part of this game. This, however, is going to win the game. Blue, Force Negation. We're not going to let you get any additional selection. You are stuck under your ring. You better tap that. Yep. We have a Hydroblast next turn. I probably should have kept Dowser on top, but yeah, I mean, this doesn't do anything. We have the ability to Hydroblast something, and they are 1 turn from death. I can't stop another One Ring. So they definitely could go to 1 and play out the One Ring. I don't think they're going to be able to win this turn, though, with me having Hydroblast. They can't tap Tomb. They've got access to 4 mana. They've got 10 cards in hand. They could have like a City of Traders to boost their mana further. They could have Moxen. We'll see if they give us GGs. Yeah. Wow. 3-0 with Jeskai in 2024. These have been long games. So I just want to point out before I forget that the decision to bring in those Force Negations proved very strong. Like if you, I took them out game 2, and what do? They resolved, I think, Ring. They resolved Trinisphere game 2. They resolved Chalice. I think we want to keep all 4 of these in against Moon Stompy. We're back. Neopolis. Cool name. All right. This is somebody who plays Mystic Forge combo. Terrifying. That was earlier this month. They're most likely on Mystic Forge. So is this a good anti-Mystic Force hand? We can ponder. We've got our card. I think we probably keep this on the strength of... let's take a look at their deck list here. So how explosive is it? They've got Karn. They've got one LED. The gold... What are they playing? Paradox Engine. One Ring. Mystic Forge. That's cool. Alternate art. Serum Powder. So they're like an all-in combo deck. I think we probably do. They're not playing Force of their own. I think we keep this and then we just be ready to pitch Supreme Verdict. Do they have any creatures to kill? Not really. They do have Urza Sagas tokens. These are most likely going to be... This is going to be dead. This will get us a land. I'm going to keep this. Our goal is to go ahead and... they don't have any anti-basic stuff, so I can just get my non-basics with impunity. It's fine. Unfortunately, our deck does not have a good way of dealing with these. So it looks like they did mulligan. Okay, they're going pretty quick to empty their hand. We'll take key resolves. That's not the card that I force. The card that I force is like A Mystic Forge, the namesake of the deck probably. Okay, I'm going to go get a Tundra, which just opens up the most options. And I am going to ponder, hoping to find another force or another Supreme Verdict. These are all good. I do want to land, and in fact, I need a land because I can't do anything without a land. I can't Timeless Dragon costs 2 to cycle. We did get a force, so we're kind of rewarded there for being even though we're not rewarded with the land. We'll ponder next turn, but we have access to 2 Force of Will effects if we need them. And we have a Supreme Verdict, which is going to be slow. We might very well be dead, but we're going to be able to plow at least one of their tokens before we die. And we have 19 of them. Okay, that's not terrible. I'm going to go ahead and do that rather than ponder. Just going to get another Tundra, play it, and I will pass with the ability to plow up because they're almost certainly going to have a construct that I want to plow here. You can't really mess around with constructs. Like, they're probably going to get Lava Spur, and I can equip, or I can plow in response to a Lava Spur equipping and save myself like 7 life, maybe. Oh, they got another Manifold Key. Interesting. Oh, and they have another one. So unfortunately, we are going to need to do quite a bit to get through these. Okay, that died. I think we have the mana open. It's irresponsible not to kill this. At this point, I wouldn't mind drawing a second plow just to buy us time because we're ramping up toward being able to cast Leyline Dowser. There's a decent chance that we do find a... Let's see, this is a blue card for force. We have 2 forces. We need to get to Supreme Verdict mana. If we Timeless Dragon, we can go get a basic Plains. That doesn't do anything for us. If we Brainstorm and we find anything, we can potentially... Like, I don't even want to use this Timeless Dragon if I can avoid it. I think we risk it. Then we can always shuffle with Ponder if absolutely necessary. Okay, 4th, there's a great pickup, and we got a second plow. I think we keep the plow, and maybe we take the hit from this, and then we can be in a position to Supreme Verdict the following turn. We don't want... This is too early. It's not super relevant right now. I almost feel like Leyline Dowser is not where we want to be because they're so low in resources already. We just need to survive this Urza Saga, really. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to plan on winning with... do we want to go deeper? I mean, yeah, we'll keep the option of just Timeless Dragoning, depending on what they do here. If it's just a question of taking 5 and then being able to kill constructs, but we're not going to be able to kill constructs is the thing. I think we got to take this out, and then next turn we'll be able to take out 2 of them. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Call me a coward. Come on, plow it. Plow it, please. Okay. But what I'm really trying to do is navigate the game into a position where they've got like their sagas out on the table and we're not dead, and we've Supreme Verdict and they don't have another way. Okay, so because we didn't do that, we were rewarded. Well, we don't want to... Oh, yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and Plane Cycle here. They're not going to have... I don't think they're going to have a Pithing Needle in their deck because they've got like a proactive, aggressive plan. They might needle this. But I'm going to play this out, and then next turn, we've got plenty of mana to Supreme Verdict their 2 constructs. We just need to not die. We have Force to protect us, well, only 1 Force because we do need to use the Supreme Verdict next turn. We've shuffled, we don't know what our top card is. Yeah, that's, as foretold, they would be creating constructs. Neapolis. New City. Okay, so these are going to be huge. And if they get Lava Spur, we are going to be taking a ton. But we're not going to be dead. So Force Negation instead of Force of Will is probably something we do here just to save life. What is this white mana? I guess they have to choose color. They can't choose colorless with it. That's fine. I'm going to take this. All right. Well, we are Withering the Storm here. Okay, they pass. Land would be great. Awesome. So I think here, yeah, I'm just going to do this first, and then I'll hold up the ability. Oops. Yeah, oh, I can go white, blue, white, verdict. Then I can pass, and I have Leyline Dowser up. I'll go get a basic island here. I just want to see what they do first. That's fine. They're casting something big here. Mystic Forge, the namesake of the deck. Well, Mystic Forge will be exiled. They're down to 2 cards. We have Leyline Dowser active. I think we're in a good position. We may have stabilized here. We've got 11 life, which is healthy. Let's grab that. It's a great pickup. So I think here, I think we just do it and we start drawing 2 cards a turn. I'm going to remember to douse before I force. That's fine. That is great. Like I'm definitely feeling the driver's seat now because they're playing out dead cards that basically enable them to have explosive starts. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they concede here in a second. Okay, that was a fetch. All right. 4th Aerlingus. I think we just do this for 1 so we can get the Monarchy, and then we still have our dowsing. Yeah, I think that's the responsible thing to do. Then we're just going to bury them in cards. That may seem like sheepish, but we can always go get this back pretty easily later. All right, double force up. We can actually go get the thing and just do it again later. But I'm going to get a few more lands out first. Okay, Crystal Vein, terrible land. That just shows you how explosive their deck is if they're playing Crystal Veins. This is going to get forced with prejudice. Wait, actually, I had a rule that I don't force things until after I've dowsered. Yep. Okay. And now I shall force. I shall pitch this. In case I don't have a land drop next turn. Okay. They have 29 life. It's going to take quite a few whacks here. We do have the Timeless Dragon that we can return. But I don't think that's... Maybe that's not actually bad use of our mana here. Because we have plenty of mana to do other stuff. So I think I'll just get that back and just speed up our clock. White. Timeless Dragon. Pass. Okay, we've got Prismatic Ending. I don't really see a good Prismatic Ending target. They may play one. Grim Monolith does give them a ton of mana, but I'm not that concerned about it considering that I have Force of Wills. Okay, I'm just going to go get another Force of Will and put it on top here. Check this out. So we do have 3 islands. I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to let them know that they're basically dead here. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they scooped. All right, that was clean. Okay, so Damping Sphere seems good. It's my only non-sorcery, non-instant card in my sideboard. I think Ruination is just too slow. They don't even really need lands. I think they're like basically like not even playing any colored mana, so none of our blasts are going to be handy here. Card. This is good. Actually, this is 1 mana exile target. And the reason we play this is specifically for Urza Saga matchups. This is not a great card, but I mean, these might actually be the things we cut. I know this is weird, but like we can kill them with these. We can kill them with these. Meltdown kills them. Yeah, because the creature component is very light. So yeah, I think we're totally safe taking these out. Let's look at their mana. Their mana base is basically, I mean, like all their mana destroys itself anyway. It's a glass cannon deck. Yeah, I don't see any reason to take anything else out. I'm just going to go back like this. Lucky. Okay. This is a mulligan. We need a force. This is also a mulligan. They're keeping 7. Yeah, I'm not going to keep a non-force will hand. Do they have... What cards do they have in their graveyard or their sideboard for us? They have Leyline of Void. Doesn't affect us. They might think it affects us, but it doesn't actually affect us, I think. Yeah, and then they just got the Wish board. They have an extra 1 ring. I'm going to mulligan again. I don't think we can go lower. Sadly, I think what we do is we put back Supreme Verdict and Prismatic Ending and hope that they don't just go crazy here. Or is that like, their deck is so glass cannon-y? We may be able to strip their... Okay, I'm going to keep this. Do I keep this? It's got mana. Mulling to 4 against a combo deck. I'm not too proud. I'm doing it. All right, this is better. This is best. Okay, so I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to put back this. My reasoning is, okay, we've got Tundra, March to cover. Okay, so that's a dead card in their hand. That doesn't affect us at all. Like literally, aside from like entombing that thing, that's fine. So they're already down to 4 cards. No lands out. This is Karn. Defense Grid. They don't have any mana. They just used it. I think we let this happen, and then we have to kill it next turn. If we force now, we basically give up our ability to brainstorm. Yeah, I think I'm just going to let it resolve. Okay, Opal. Do they have the nut draw? Like the total nuts? No, they're passing. Okay. So they're going to have to pay mana to untap this. They don't have any permanent mana other than this. We could even get rid of this. You know what? If we get rid of that, then they don't have any mana. I kind of think that's okay. 2 cards in hand. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah, that could definitely go toward a... I was going to say, that could definitely go toward... can't remember the day. Oh, okay. You can't remember what day the tournament is, not what day it is. Okay, that is a little bit more... okay. So this costs 3 extra, so we're getting close to being able to force... I'm going to go ahead and play this out in case we need blue for some reason. I'll pass. All right. Because I definitely want to be able to force if we need to. Land is okay. Meltdown is very strong. Do we meltdown now? I think we meltdown now just so we have access to force. Oh, wait. We can't meltdown and kill that. I think I'll wait a turn. Yeah, that was bad. I'll just grab that and I'll pass. I have the ability to force now. And one more card and I'll have the ability to meltdown. Hopefully they play out a bunch of artifacts here. None. Land? I don't deserve a land. Like, I've had land the past 3 or 4 turns. I'm not going to play out Dowser because... So we play out Dowser, we basically guarantee we get an extra... They're complaining with their hand. I think maybe we do it. I mean, like, that statement they just said makes me want to go ahead and try this. And I think... Let's test it. There's no reason to wait. I'm going to take that. And now they're going to be like, what? I thought Leyline would stop that. Which is what you would think from reading the card. But no, it doesn't stop it for some reason. Just some quirk of the term mill. Okay. Land would basically mean that I'm going to just go ahead and melt down. We didn't get land. I think I want to find a land. I'm going to ponder here and try to find a land. I did find a land. And I found another meltdown, which is excellent. So I'm just going to draw that. I mean, I am definitely willing to have 2 meltdowns in hand. So if they don't cast anything, I can just Leyline Dowser. 7 cards in hand. They don't play a lot of permanent mana. Oh, I screwed up. I didn't click the thing. I'm sorry, audience. I know I'm a bad player, and that was a bad play. Yeah, I mean, if we melt down, we get rid of these, but it doesn't really seem to matter. I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep force up, and I'm just going to Dowser. I should have Dowsered last turn. That was so bad. So we had, what was the other card that we had on top? I can't even remember. Okay, so they do have this. I want them to go all in on some sort of artifact line. That's fine. Now they can untap this. Okay, now I'm going to do this. Timeless Dragon. Okay, that's fine. Do we want to wait any longer? If we nuke their board, they have 6 cards in hand, but they have no mana. Otherwise, the first mana source does unlock that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and douse first. So I can see if I can get any value off it. I didn't. Now I'm going to melt down for 4. Or for 3, rather. Nicely done. You've successfully prevented me from returning my embalmed dragons. Okay, no play. And now we can fourth. And I am indeed going to fourth rather than Douse, just because I want to be able to melt down again soon. And I don't want to like just lose this. In fact, I would probably like brainstorm that back if I had another blue card. All right, let's see if we can draw some blue cards, some lands. The only Swords to Plowshares in the deck. All right, 4-0. Wow, this is so much better than the Uro build. It's crazy. Like, I'm not even sure if I'm going to publish the Uro build. It was so frustrating to play. I did 2-3, but like I didn't feel like I was in control the entire time. I felt like, okay, I'm like going to react to this, and now I'm going to react to this, and the entire time I felt pretty in control. I like having 8 force effects. I think it's totally justifiable. We are hard casting the force of negations. Yeah, this is good. All right, we're back for round. Oh gosh, this guy, of course, the trophy leader. I think he's like maybe second. I mean, this has lots of counter magic in it. I'm not sure what we do here. Okay, so this guy's on breakfast. He only plays breakfast, so we don't have to worry about that. I think we keep this because we do have lots of disruption. Yeah, we can stop the early attacks. And is this matchup favorable for us? It might actually be a favorable matchup. Okay, I'm just going to play slow. My opponent has no idea what I'm on. They're probably assume that I'm still on Beans, which is what I've played for the past few months. They have seen me play some other decks. So we're going to be able to just go get a land here. If they wait too long, we will be able to get fourth online and start drawing cards. That's fine. You'll note that since we're playing cards like Ruination, we don't actually have any of the Surveil lands in our deck. That's fine. All right, and they don't play anything to punish on basics here, so I'm not going to play on basics. I'm going to go ahead and get a Tundra, and I'm just going to go straight into a Valk probably. Let's get another Tundra, because we have the ability to get a Valk next turn, and I want to maximize our options. Okay, we don't want that. I'm just going to pass with Brainstorm and Lorien revealed up and 2 mana to stop cards like Daze. I do want to get these out of my hand for sure, though. They're not like super strong. Okay, so he's playing a whopping 2 of these. Okay, and Strand, so he does extra land. The card that worries me the most out of his deck is Urza Saga. There it is. This is a card that you have to counter. I'm going to force pitching. So Brainstorm is really like 3 cards here. I think we force pitching force. They're forcing back. I think we have to keep a Brainstorm here. All right. So what I'm going to do this turn is I'm going to try to Brainstorm into a fetch. These are dead because they're going to have like constructs, and they've got a lot of other little creatures like Narcomoebas and stuff that are hard to stop. So we could definitely whiff here, but I do think it's worth it to attempt to put these back. Do we get one of our... We don't. So I think we put that back. We put that back. Now, so we're not going to be able to ponder into a land, unfortunately. So the question is he going to go thinking he has it? We can wait a turn. We can time start. I think we wait, because this way we can potentially stop. We can't stop the combo necessarily. Let's see. What did he exile? He exiled the Narcomoeba when he forced. He could have the combo, and our force negation doesn't even do anything. We're guaranteed, if we don't ponder shuffle here, to let's see if we can get the land here. He might daze this. Oh wow. I'll take that. I'm just going to play it out, and I'm going to pass. So this is the turn where if he has the combo, he can just win. There's nothing I can do about it, unfortunately. But he may choose to play slower, thinking I have plow. If he has days, there's no reason to wait. He's passing. Oh, right. That's definitely good for us. I'm going to go get a Volk. I'll just, yeah, there's no reason to do that and stuff. I could have done that during my upkeep. So we have, I think here we just go ahead and go blue, Timeless Dragon, and I'm going to go get a Plateau. I'll just play it out. So I've got Force Negation. I've got Prismatic Ending if they aren't able to kill me soon, which they won't be able to. They're not an aggressive Saga deck. So I'll probably at most be taking like 4 or 5 this turn. Wow, they're not making it. That's terrifying. All right. So we're dead, basically. Yep. They're going to be able to equip. I'm not going to force this. Now they can do the thing, and they're going to know that Force Negation is the only thing I could have left. So they're going to name Force Negation. Are they going to go for it? They are. Oh, they're equipping here. They're going to attack me first. That makes sense before they go for it. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a situation where they hold and they don't just kill me. If they pass, I'm 100%. Okay, they're not going to pass. I don't know why they would pass. Yep. So, you know, an experienced player like him is going to deduce that. Okay, so are they going to do the rest of their graveyard? Okay. So I can now yield to those abilities. Let's take a look at their graveyard. That's fine. There's like literally nothing I can do here except hope that they somehow screw up and name Force of Will or like Surgical Extraction, which nobody has Surgical Extraction in their deck. They're going to name Force Negation here. I just want to make them do it. Okay, they've got 7 cards left in their deck. They did hit the Cabal Therapy. That's fine. They're going to name Negation, and then we're going to GG. They have Dread Return. Am I missing something? Can they still win? Oh, they had it in hand. Yeah. This game. Like, wait for the triggers to resolve just to make sure I didn't like do something wrong. Yeah, I didn't know they had it in hand, but that makes sense. I didn't look for it in the graveyard. Okay, so Pyroblast definitely coming in. Surgical Extractions definitely coming in. Meltdown. I think in this case, maybe not. Ruination, they have lots of basics. Okay, so cards that are going to come out, there aren't really that many that I want to take out. I think Prismatic Ending's pretty bad. It does hit constructs. What do we take out? Okay, so Prismatic Ending is probably the weakest card in the deck in the sense that a lot of their permanents can be answered instead with Swords of Plowshares. It's a non-blue card. And then Timeless Dragon's not terrible because it does fix our mana and it does provide like a clock. Fourth Aerolingus obviously is a better clock. Yeah, I mean, I think we probably take out 4th. That's kind of weird, but we don't want to lose. Oh, we could, you know what I could do is I could take out a 1/4, 1 Supreme Verdict. Supreme Verdict's not good here, but it's better than nothing. He said, "Hi, yeah, usually hard and interesting games against you. That is a compliment coming from the master of this archetype." I mean, Damping Sphere, is that any good? I don't think it is. Yeah, I think Supreme Verdict is blue, so we can pitch it. I feel comfortable with this configuration. Pyroblast is definitely better than because it's instant speed. This is a great hand. This has lots of points of interaction. I'm going to keep this, and it has lands. No reason not to go get my non-basics here. Okay. Yep. So one of the things about this matchup is the longer they are able to build up resources, the more likely they're going to have a critical mass of disruption spells like Orim's Chant or Teferi. So you do kind of want to go fast, but our deck just doesn't go fast. This is not what our deck does. So I think it'd be a mistake to like lean too far into, for example, 4th Aerolingus. I think we just have to be patient and stop them. This is like a wall of disruption. Like they're going to go for it eventually, and we're going to have quite a bit of stuff. We will have to be ready. Like the best draw in our deck is absolutely the land, so we have the ability to potentially hard cast negation. Like I would love to draw 2 lands in a row here, if we could. I'm gonna play this tapped. Yeah, I'm not gonna fire the Brainstorm yet. I think Brainstorm is best serving as a pitch to Force of Will. That's fine. See what they get. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to like make them wait for that trigger. I was just dazed out. I was like waiting to see what they got. Okay, Shuko. Yep, Shuko is a permanent that we can kill with Prismatic Ending, but you know Shuko's not any good if you just remove the actual creature. That's fine. Now, would they burn a Daze here on a Plow? I think it's probably actually fine if I could get a Daze out of their hand. I am going to Brainstorm here. No, I shouldn't Brainstorm because I've got great stuff. I think I'm just going to go get my Tundra and I'm going to Plow. Why am I going to Plow this? Because one of the ways they can win is by slowly just grinding you down with their crappy creatures. They gain 1 life more than they would have had I not done that. All right, that's a land. We'll pass. We now have Force Negation and Force Will up and Surgical Extraction. So I don't think we're going to die this turn. And I hope that they go for it. I genuinely hope they go for it. It's fine. So the next card I want to get is probably, since we have so much protection, probably it's time that we want to get a Leyline Dowser online. It's fine. They're getting a lot of selection. They probably have Orim's Chant. They probably have Teferi, which I cannot easily deal with. Teferi, by the way, if it resolves, I have to fight Teferi on the stack. That's fine. They're probably going to get another Shuko. If they get Caldra, then I'll just plan to Plow Caldra instead. No, they'll probably get Caldra. Oh, they got another Shuko. Interesting. Yep. I'm not going to Plow this time because this does represent vital interaction here. Okay, there we go. Plays out. I shouldn't have tapped out a red because I could have pretended to have something better. So we'll take this hit. They may not even swing with it. So this is going to be a Force of Negation. I think we Force of Will because the negation we can hardcast on subsequent turns. Yeah, and I'm not going to use Leyline Dowser right now, even though I normally do, just because I am worried about days. Okay, I'm going to Douse here. Blue card. Blue card. Okay, we'll take it and we're going to Force. We have 2 points of interaction now. I think they'll wait. They're crazy if they go for it. That sucks. Yep, there's nothing we can do about this. I think I'm going to go ahead and just attempt to Plow here because it's not going to matter. And then I'm just going to try to... they may have days here too. Okay, but they're not going to be able to bounce it to go get a Caldra. So it's kind of a win. They're going to minus going target like for nothing or... Yeah. Bounce that. That makes sense. Okay. Timeless Dragon can attack Teferi. Yeah, I think I'm going to Plane Cycle. I'm going to get a Tundra. There's nothing else I can do. And then this will have Daze Protection / the ability to go get something. I think we're dead though. All they need is the card and we're dead. No reason not to use it now. See what we get. Land. Okay, so next turn we can bring this back, but it's going to be pretty late. I think we're dead. So I was saying we have a favorable matchup. Maybe I'm boarding incorrectly here. If they somehow don't have the card, but they will. Yeah, that is the game. I'm just gonna turn off, yield through this turn, and we'll just see what they do. Yield until next end step. I think they're just going to win. The cards, like even if they had, with the mana they have out, they can just potentially Cabal Therapy and then flash it back. Yeah, so there's basically no way. They would have to have multiple things in their hand for this to matter. Yeah, Teferi is definitely like a powerful planeswalker in situations like this where you're not playing Bowmasters. If we were playing Bowmasters, it wouldn't be that bad. This guy is a first printing guy. He's playing the first printing Ponders instead of the fancy Ponders. He's got old, so we can just admire his like all old border or all first printing, like even his fetches and everything. Like he's clearly got a lot of love in this deck. Yeah, great games as always. Congrats. All right, I'm just going to concede. Yeah, he's got it on the stack. I'll just concede. All right. Well, we did not win, but we did 4-1, and the person we lost to is the best breakfast player on earth, basically. Breakfast is a legit deck, especially when you're not playing Bowmasters, so I don't feel bad about it. I definitely learned a lot. I like the deck. I don't really see any immediate changes I want to make. I thought the Timeless Dragons were pretty good. They were cycling. They were coming back in embalmed form. Then we had Fourth Aerolingus, which was hitting the pavement really hard. Several games we were able to basically steal by just like tapping out for Fourth Aerolingus. The sideboard decision I made at the end where I boarded out one of my fourths and one of my Supreme Verdicts, I don't think that was of any consequence. And I don't think the prismatic endings would have been good anyway. Once they have Shuko on the table, like you really just have to interact on the stack. And if they resolve either an Orm's Chant or a Teferi, you can no longer do that. So the number one rule if you're a blue mage up against Cephalid Breakfast is don't let them resolve Teferi or Orm's Chant. We stopped the Orm's Chant through double force, but we couldn't stop the Teferi that they that they followed with. So again, like we didn't even win a game against them, but I'm going to play test this more, and hopefully I will, be in a shape where I can stop them. And maybe I'll get some more instinct around when to bring in what. But I think Pyroblast is very strong here as a sideboard option against Cephalid Breakfast because it does kill Teferi and it kills the Cephalid. So, yeah. Until next time, everybody, have fun and be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.